All right. Happy Friday, everybody. So today I'm super excited to have my friend Heshan on, and he's going to tell us his story, and really, what he's been doing, what he's working on, life, business, experiences. First, welcome to the Clear Channel. If you haven't had a chance to follow us on YouTube, please subscribe. And also on other social media platforms, we're putting up a lot of videos and things on TikTok and Instagram, all the other ones. So first of all, hey Sean, nice to have you.
Sup, Ken? Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome. I know we were just chatting a little bit. You watch this channel. Now you're
Of course,
on the
yeah.
channel.
Not just me. There's a lot of people. We have a big fan base for you down in New Orleans for sure. Everyone loves you. And I think you came to kick us off for EDM last year. And they still remember a lot of things. And now they follow you on social media.
Yeah,
You, Jamie, all
crazy.
of you guys feel like home for them.
Crazy. So, hey, Sean. So first of all, do you mind telling whoever our audience, right? There's a lot of different people that are young in the business world, young in sales, young in business in general. Just tell us to start off, like, who's Hey Sean? Where you from? Background, family, so you can get an idea of who they're talking to today or who they're hearing from.
Yeah, perfect, Ken. Let's get into it. So I'm from Sri Lanka. That's where I was born and raised. And I went to three different schools down in Sri Lanka. And I started in one small city and then moved to the capital to go to college. And I finished that. I was not the smartest kid for sure. I was the sports guy. I was playing basketball, heavy into rugby. We don't have much
I didn't
fans
know
down
that.
in
You're a
US for
rugby guy?
rugby. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm a big time rugby guy. I played for a good amount of years, and then my sister became a doctor. So that was kind of a flip that I had to do from sports to I kind of had to be the smart kid in the family, and I was like, okay, let me go to college, get a degree. And then I was not happy because I was just getting a degree and just playing sports. Then I realized I need to change my life, and then decided to do an MBA. Came to US, got into California, and started doing my MBA. My dad was in Los Angeles back then, and then I started uh, my MBA in Concordia, and then my final semester started applying for jobs like everyone else does. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of May grads and a lot of ICers will be
Yeah,
watching this,
especially right
right?
now, right?
So yeah, exactly. So I was one of them in grad school, and my last semester I was applying for like 400 jobs, and on one company called me, and it was Cat. And Cat called
Wow.
me and she's like, hey, there's this Phoenix Consulting back in Orange County. It's a sales organization. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the interview. And I met Farid during the interview process. And when
Wow.
I saw Farid and he heard his story, I wanted to get into sales. I love the culture. And started from Sebastian, and 9 months got promoted to assistant manager. And 2019, we opened up in New Orleans, and we wanted to be in a market where we can add some value to the community, not just about making money. And I knew
Yeah.
New Orleans kind of the place to come add value for people. So now we are here for 6 years. We're coming up 6 years actually for today. Today is our sixth
Wow.
year. Yeah,
Today.
today exactly. Yeah,
Wow, May 9th, six
yeah.
years as an entrepreneur. That's fantastic. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So Sri Lanka, tell
hmm
us about Sri Lanka. There's a lot of people maybe listening to this channel and on YouTube that may not know about your country.
Yeah, it's a small island back in Asia, close to India, Maldives. I think that's the number one island that anyone has to travel. Like, I think that's number one. They call it the pearl of the Indian Ocean for a reason.
Mm.
Uh, Famous. It's like a small Bali and a Thailand together. Uh, Great, nice people, nice community, easy to travel, very safe place. Go out there, enjoy surfing, beaches, nice people, good food for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
How
definitely a
big is it?
place to
How
visit.
big is
It's a
is the
small island, smaller than Louisiana. Just imagine the state of Louisiana is smaller than that.
wow. Wow. So okay, so in Sri Lanka and across the world, it sounds like your dad was in California. Was he
Yeah, so my dad was a business
business? What
owner.
did he do for
Yeah, so
business?
my dad was a business owner. There's a lot of
Okay.
things what not to do and what to do I learned from my dad. He was a great business owner. He provided everything for us. it's crazy because this Sunday I'm celebrating a lot of things on, and you have this call coming up. This Sunday is going to be 2 years him passing away. So he was in California, but before that he was a business owner, very successful business owner. Gave everything for myself and my sister. We had basically everything we needed, like driver to go to school, come back. So he was very wealthy, and we didn't have to worry about nothing. And also he knows how to make $1 million a week, and also knew how to spend $2 million a week as well. Right. So basically he was going into debt every week because he was a really good spender. So I learned what not to do and also what to do with him, because he woke up at 5 a.m. every single morning, and he only got home around 11 a.m. 11 p.m. Sorry. So 5 a.m., 11 p.m. home. He
Working
always
like
come
crazy.
home with yeah. So I learned work ethic definitely watching him growing up. That was definitely a blueprint kind of instilled in me, watching him growing up, and also what not to do. He lost everything, so he decided to come to LA and then start his career there. And when I was assistant manager, he started getting sick. So I decided I'm going to retire him as assistant manager and take him to Sri Lanka and retire my parents, basically, both of them. When I was an assistant manager, I was making really good money. I was in the field full time. I was definitely an addict in the field. I love the field so much. I think the field is the best thing that anyone has to learn. So the field was the perfect place for me when I was going through adversity, to take care of both of them. Then in 2018, I took my dad back to Sri Lanka, retired both of them there, and then started
Wow.
my company.
Wow. That's amazing. You should be very proud. Very
100%,
proud.
bro. 100%. We have a great opportunity, so it made me do that.
Yeah. So, and I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously, I think I
Thank
can
you.
relate, unfortunately, to the parents passing and things. I don't wish it on anybody. I don't wish it on anyone. But all right. So you're in California. You're getting your master's.
Yeah,
What did you get your master's in?
business administration.
So you got your
So I
MBA.
did not finish it. It was my last semester. I had one more unit remaining, two more units remaining. So basically 6 units, 3 credits.
Uh-huh.
I got into the business. I was like, this is gonna be it. I'm not gonna spend another 6 grand, and I can still go and finish those. Pay six
So,
grand and finish
so you
those six
didn't
credits.
finish your degree, but you're getting it. Fell into a sales company in
Mhm.
California, you mentioned, and started leaning in. Kind of put that on the side burner to lean into learning sales, learning about leadership.
Yeah,
So tell me about that sales path. Right? What was your biggest struggle in the sales?
I think first was I was really good at taking control. Then my first paycheck came out, and I realized taking control is just about cornering a customer and signing them up is not the way to go. And then I
Yeah,
realized there's a quality component to it, which
yeah.
about building a good relationship. Customers trust
The
you.
follow up process, the
Exactly. Yeah.
onboarding. Yeah,
Yeah. But I learned the hard way. But one thing I did really good, I was really good at making faster, quicker adjustments. I was not waiting for months or years. That's the whole reason I was able to get promoted in 9 months to assistant manager. I made sure I make quick adjustments, and
yeah,
also you probably heard a lot of immigrant stories on this calls. I saw Abdullah was on this call. When you come as an immigrant, you don't have a choice. You see, you're very grateful, you understand the opportunity, you make so much quicker, faster adjustments, because you know, like, if you put your whole soul into it, you're gonna win. There's no way
yeah.
that you're gonna lose.
Yeah, to your point, right? Like, it's interesting to know how many people in our industry and our model have their parents are from other parts of the world, right? They're from other places. They came to the U.S. for the American dream. They came to the U.S. to help us as their next generation of kids, get a shot and have an opportunity.
Yeah.
But we still had to do something with it. That's for sure. Because
Hmm.
as much as there's a lot of people, like a lot of us that have, there's others that haven't, right? So it's interesting. So all right, so you're getting your MBA. You're obviously you're in sales now, getting things down. What the customers are never the best. They're never the kindest.
Oh
There's
no, no, never.
anything
You can't
you can't
expect. Yeah.
control customers' energy and their attitude. Sometimes it's hard to deal with that. Um, when you're getting down the basics, right? Is there anything besides you said taking control that you had to kind of slow down the process and make sure you had organized systems? What did that tell you about you? What did it tell you about like you and your
A
life?
lot, a lot. I think sales exposed who you are as a person. One of the fastest ways to realize if you're going through like any time in your life that you just have not figured out who you are as a person, sales is the way to go. It exposes you. So I definitely had a big ego coming into the business. Like, hey, I'm an MBA student. Like, I'm too good for this. Who are you to tell me
You had a
no?
fantastic,
Yeah.
bachelor.
And I
Yeah.
was like, who are you to tell me no? Like, do you know who I am? That's kind of an attitude you're going to have. Like, I had when I was coming to sales.
Mm.
But over time, it kind of exposes me. Like, why do I have this ego? Why am I thinking that way? Just people are people, right? Why are you judging them? Then you start reading for agreements and you're like, don't take anything personally, right? Always
It's a
do
great
your
book. We
best.
actually have a book club going on right now with that one.
Yeah,
Four
bro. I
agreements.
don't know
Yeah.
if you know the fifth agreement. There's another one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so both of books are great. So yeah, so those are things I realized definitely a lot about myself. And then you're gonna start getting to the training game, right? And then you are basically not just you're dealing with one more person. And then if you want to make it hard on yourself to get better in the game, harder first, but it gets easier later, you take two people with you. And now it's not just one person's feeling, now three people's feelings plus the customer's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Once you start mastering all that, then you're gonna feel like you can take over the whole world because you boost your confidence up. All
Yeah.
right, so definitely going back to your question, those are the things that I personally definitely had to
So
work on.
you mentioned the word ego. There's a lot
Hmm.
of people that have a healthy ego. There's some people that have an unhealthy ego. What if there's someone that has always been good at things they've done before this. Now they're in sales and they're struggling at it and their ego kind of get in their way. What advice would you give that person?
I don't think the first thing is not a bad thing. Sometimes I think personally, when I coach, I used to tell people that you have a big ego, right? Most people, the way that they received it is, oh, he's not liking me. So, or ego is a bad thing. I don't think personally ego is a bad thing. I think you just need to be aware about it. As long as you're aware, is it going to help you or is it going to ruin you? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But most of the time, when the ego ruins us, we just give another reason to make ourselves feel good rather than attacking those areas that you need to work on. I think the biggest things I had to work on early in my career, I was blessed to have Sebastian around me, Farid
Sure.
around me, and there's a lot of Phoenix
Yeah.
Five, like
Great
Sandra,
leadership. Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up in a growth oriented environment. I'm pretty sure if someone grew up in Ken's office, you're gonna learn about self awareness. So you are kind of blessed to even be there. Now, so if you're in our industry, definitely you're gonna learn about a lot of self awareness, work on yourself. So I was kind of blessed to work on that area faster.
Yeah.
And one thing is, I think if you're a sharper candidate coming to our business, now your ego is getting hurt, just look around you. Is these people winning? Do they have the life that you want? When I came to the business and look around, I remember my first conference was Adam Dorfman. I saw him getting promoted to, I think, if I'm right, platinum consultant. I don't know if I'm right, but should
Yeah.
be.
Something.
Yeah, something like he was getting promoted, big promotion. So I was just looking at these people's lives, their stories. They have the things I want. So I'm gonna keep my ego aside because
Yeah.
I don't have anyone around my life that thinks that they have that I want. 90% of the people I had when I come to the business is I don't want their life. I don't want to copy and paste it. So
Yeah.
now I have these people that I can copy and paste the life that they're living and actually get there. I
Yeah.
step back from my ego.
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. And there's something about being a student of the game, right? A student of the industry you're in, the student of business, a student of success, right? They say successful people leave clues,
Yeah,
oftentimes in books and
yeah,
now YouTube and podcasts and different things, right?
hmm,
And they tend to serve the next generation a lot.
yeah,
Um, so you said something there about having the right circle of influence, right? Have
yeah,
you seen that change and evolve? Have you seen people, you made the smart moves of not falling into the crowd that wasn't going places or that you perceived as, the crowd that is. Any tips for people in their 20s, right? So a lot of people in their 20s care a ton about what their friends think, care a ton about what others are saying. They even parents that have all the best intentions in the world, sometimes are chirp at their children. I know my parents did. They kind of
Yeah,
gave me a hard time for wanting to
yeah.
be really successful. What's your advice for them?
I have a different perspective on this, Ken. I think social media is allowing a lot of young entrepreneur, young candidates coming out to get to the entrepreneurship route, get to the hustle mindset, but also they're not matured enough. I think as leaders, our job is to help them to get matured,
Mm,
right? So because they're already coming in there, because before that generation, we were like, okay, they don't have the entrepreneurship mind. They don't want to grind. Now this new generation coming in, we're like, okay, they want to grind. They want to get into business. And as leaders, sometimes we're like, oh, they're not matured enough. I think it's our job to like mature them.
yeah,
And I think a
kind of
great group of
develop
people,
them.
develop them, mature them, show them, be patient around them because they're already ready to grind. Not like 80% of the candidates that I talk to, they don't want to go to college anymore. They want to hustle, they want to grind. But I get it because most of them want to grind on YouTube, on Instagram, or get into the stock market, thinking that's gonna make them
Yeah,
rich.
yeah,
But I think it's our job as leaders to kind of like help them to show them like, hey, first you're gonna learn, you're gonna fail, you're not gonna have the Instagram reality life of being rich quick. You might get them, you might lose it. What you're gonna do once you lose it?
yeah,
Right, kind of like giving those advices and coach them and hold their hand and becoming great kind of parents, and then show them, hey, it's okay to fail. Just go out there and hustle. Go there
yeah,
and grind. So it's okay. And I think as leaders, we need to be more patient, holding their hands and just showing them, and they're going to do mistakes. It's okay. But
yeah,
I love the generation coming out because they get to see more on the educational side of things, getting into hustling, building a business. As long as we can explain the business right for them, I think we can see a lot of like 19, 18-year-old kids coming in, and we see that already, getting into ownership, getting into $1 million club. But I think
yeah,
it's exciting.
yeah, yeah. You're so right. Like everyone. I've heard people say that my generation was this way or my generation that way. Now, the data shows that there's a lot more people not going to college
Mm.
than in the past because they want to get into business, they want to do their own thing, they want to learn how to be an entrepreneur. Um, Unfortunately, it's like the good and bad about this phone that we all work with and that we all use is the information's there. Like, but the question is, what information are they going after? What information are they getting? And is it helping them and serving them to accomplish their goals, or is it just distracting them, from getting what they want?
Yeah,
Now, so how old are you, by the way?
I'm 33.
33.
Yeah.
You've been an entrepreneur since 27, right? So obviously you did your schooling and you moved to the States and things. And so now you've been an entrepreneur for 5 years or so. What are some big wins? What are some big highlights? What are some
Yeah, I'm gonna
that you're
correct you a little
grateful
bit. Yeah, I'm gonna
grateful
correct you a little bit there, and then we'll come to this area. So I was an entrepreneur when I was 16 years old. That was my first business I ever ran,
for? Got
right?
it. I didn't know that.
And
Tell me
and
about it.
then one more time.
Tell me, but what were you doing at
Yeah, so
16?
I was running a fish business. Started getting fishy. Then I got out of it. I'm kidding. So I used to bring fish from Panama to Sri Lanka. Now it's an island, and everyone was surprised. Why do we bring fish from Panama to Sri Lanka? Frozen fish, bigger quantities is cheaper. So that was my
Huh.
first business when I was 16 years old. Things got harder, so I quit.
How did you get into that? Like, tell me about it. How did you even get that?
I was a hustler. I was connecting with emails, talking to people, getting people involved, networking, and just found some contacts. So I was able to get some good contacts from the people that I know,
Wow.
and then got started making some good money. One container got stuck at one time. Then I was like, I'm giving up. This is too much work. And the friend who actually started with my same time at the business, he never gave up. He became very successful doing that. So I learned my first lesson: never give up. So that's why I
And
tell.
he's still running the business today?
Oh yeah, yeah, he's very successful. Yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
gave up. I gave up early. As soon as the adversity hit, I was like, this is not for me. This is too much work to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But coming back to your question, when I was 25, I found this job, and one thing I told myself is, it doesn't matter how hard things gonna get, I'm never gonna give up because I learned my lesson the hard way. So cool things that I was able to do. I mean, I retired my parents when they were young. I already knew because my dad was had cirrhosis when he was in LA. Going back to my story, that's why I retired him and took him back to Sri Lanka. Doctors in US said there's only 2 years left for him, and now because of the money that I was making, the medicine that I was getting for him, he was able to live extra 6 years to see my sister getting married. So I was able to do a whole, Asian weddings, 400, 600 people coming in. I was able to take her entire tab and just give her as a gift. So that was amazing. And obviously, me and my wife get to do a lot of amazing things every single time. I mean, she just signed up for a Disney vacation club, 40 grand or something. So she's living the dream that she wants to live. Man, I
How
do a
did
lot
you
of
guys
charity.
meet?
One more time.
Where did you meet? How did you meet?
In the business, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We met in the business in Sebastian's office, and I do my charity program. I do like 2 scholarships every single year for kids in Sri Lanka. I've been doing it since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
So I was
How
able
does that
to.
work? What do you when you scholarships? You help pay for some of their schooling, or what
Totally,
is it?
yeah, yeah. A lot of kids who go into college, it is free education. Some of them gets qualified, but once they go to those colleges, there's a lot of expenses that they cannot afford. So they stop going and getting that degree. So I have a foundation that I've been working for over like almost over like 12 years now, and we being able to do a lot of projects. We do environment projects, scholarships, a lot of big events in Sri Lanka. So I've been part of that for like over 15 years, and I do a lot of educational events for them, just mentality, just coaching them, teaching them things that we have here, which people in Sri Lanka does not. Right.
Sure.
So one way to do it is just add value for them. And so I do a lot of those things makes me and my wife so much happy just giving back. We are not planning on having any kids. So this is the way of kind of giving back and just being there around kids and just like passing it on. Things can change, you never know, but that's how we are right now. But a lot of cool things, man. Like a lot of cool things. I'm so grateful for the business for helping me do that. We travel a lot. We do travel a lot. We love traveling, and do a lot of fun things with my guys. My guys is my family. I don't have any other family other than my wife and wife's family here. My guys are my family, so me and them get to do a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
And money has never been an issue because of this business.
So New Orleans
That is right. Yeah.
had some major like things happen there.
Yeah, yeah. Every year
So
for the last 2 years, we've been good. But every year I ran a business. I had to shut down for like a month or two maximum and take
yeah,
things
like
easy then.
obviously weather issues.
Yeah.
There's been some bombings in New
Hmm.
Orleans, right? Like, how do you handle some of that stuff that's out of your control? Like a lot of people, that would be super hard.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control what you can't control. Easy as that, right? It happens in life, it happens in feelings, it happens in things. It's happened in the economy. I mean, just tariffs came in. They're still growing. Everyone is making 2 3 grand a week in paychecks. Like people are making 30, 50, 70 grand a week in wires, just because things happen in the economy or something. Like it's you can't control it, right? So I mean, I started my business here in 2019. Every year, except for last year, we had a hurricane or sometimes two hurricanes. We got to shut down our whole business, entire operations, for 1 or 2 months. We will go to Houston. I'm so blessed that there's a lot of guys out there help me
Wow.
out a lot, and or else we go to Florida somewhere and then we come back and rebuild everything from the scratch. Things gonna happen. Sometimes your guys lose cars when they come back.
Yeah.
I think that's what made me who I am. So I'm very grateful the fact that I was building my rookie few years in New Orleans because that just made you tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
You're
made
tough, man. Super tough. Well, I know we're coming up on some time here, but any just life wisdom, things that maybe your dad shared with you back in the day that you love sharing with people and your team or just in general, and kind of closing.
yeah. I think we are in one of the best times we ever had in this game. I think everyone needs to double down. This is the time because
Yeah.
I watched how this business grew, and I mean, only for 6 years we went from no iPads to iPads to like it's growing fast than I have ever seen any other business.
It's crazy,
If
isn't it?
you do not lock in right now, I don't think when you will never lock in.
Yeah.
This is the time to lock in. I think if anyone wants to be lucky in right now, not just in business in general, a lot of things are happening great right now. So just everyone should definitely lock themselves in right now. I'm saying this, but if you can go back, if Ken Lear talks about 20 years back, how things has changed, things has moved. But think for me, for the last 6 years, I see how fast things are growing right now.
Yeah,
We are growing in a very fast rate. So you got to get yourself logged in and get out there.
I
Don't
love
wait.
it.
Don't wait. Nothing is going to be given.
I tell you, there's an old saying that time waits for no man,
There you
right?
go.
And as whether it's life or your business or your relationships, it's there's something about living life on your terms, taking control of it, doing the things you don't want to do on a daily basis, in the morning, and eating the frog kind of stuff.
Hmm.
To get into the world of things that you really want to do, like travel and spoil those you love. So, hey, Sean, I really appreciate you jumping on today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. You should be very proud of the business you run, of the people you have in your world, obviously the impact and influence that you have on people. I just appreciate you as a friend, and thanks for jumping on today.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you having me, man. This is a great opportunity. And also, thank you for all the wisdom that you are sharing and being there for us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.